Yeah?
Yeah.
How's the car running?
Oh, the car is running great.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel like I've grown up or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, actually, I don't, like, every day I guess I feared going to work.
Right.
Because it was entirely up to me about preventing accidents. I had to be so cautious. You know, like, I mean, the car it was four wheels. It's really all it was.
Right.
You know, like...
You mean your old car?
Yeah, the old car.
Right.
Like, I feel like between my driving skill and the car now, I can prevent accidents most of the time.
Oh, you've got more control.
Yeah, definitely more control, yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I feel like I'm in the 21st century, too. It's kind of nice.
Well, it is nice. New vehicles are very nice.
Yeah.
To have.
So I sent you a link today. I didn't even add it to Wunderlist. I wanted to kind of do this topic because it's incredibly relevant and jump on the bandwagon while we still can, I guess.
Right.
But do you recall the previous episode where we talked about this?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I'm just trying to. I've got it on my. I tried to transfer from my phone to my little tablet here, the website. I can't seem to find the actual thing that you sent me. So.
Well, on if you go on any nerd site, it's probably the top headline.
Oh yeah, no, I did. Yeah, no, I did that. Yeah, crazy. So, do you want to start on this segment?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So, I don't know. I can't remember what day it was announced. It was probably Thursday or Friday last week, but. James Gunn has been rehired by Disney to do the next Guardians of the Galaxy film. I don't know if the audience has heard of this film, but it's a little series of films that have currently made $1.2 billion at the box office. So
lots of money.
Lots of money.
Yeah.
Last year. He had penned the script for the third Guardians film. He was directly involved in working with the Russo brothers, who directed the Avengers, or doing the two back-to-back Avengers films, and also did two Captain America films. They did a lot of chatting back and forth because the Russo brothers were going to use the Guardians of the Galaxy in the Avengers movie.
Right.
They were very prominent in the storyline, so Gunn was very involved in those movies, although he didn't direct it. He was definitely consulted on them. So his contributions to Marvel are actually very, very important at this stage of the game. And he had already written the script when he was fired by Disney for tweets that came out 10 years ago that were very horrible tweets.
Right.
And we talked about that in the previous episode. I'll try to throw a link to this up. So he's back with Disney after a year. So what happened? Why did they change their mind? So I want to hear your theories on this. I've got tons of theories. I want to hear yours.
Well, money, I would be number one. You don't pass up $1 billion, and some people would mow down their own mother for it. So I can't
some
see
people
why.
Would mow their own mother down for it.
$1 billion. I mean, it's crazy when it comes to money and people. Some people just lose their mind. And it's the same as if you have a football player that he's probably the best player that you could find, and then find out about something, whatever, that he did or whatnot. But he's pulling in billions of dollars, even if someone cut them from the team, do you think someone else would pick them up, or they wouldn't want to have to deal with the backlash?
Money versus backlash. Yeah, I think they'll always go with money.
Well, it depends on what the backlash is. If you can't spend the money because of the backlash, then there's not much point. But if you can get away with it and have the money, then of course they would probably do it.
I think.
I would think.
Yeah, if you got a controversial guy playing ball, people are going to go see the game because they hate him just as much as they love him, I guess.
Unless he's banned from the league entirely, then that's a whole different story. Then no one can hire him because no one, he wouldn't be allowed to play, I guess.
Yeah, true.
If they went that far, yeah. So they fired him, and then now they're hiring him.
Yeah, and they were actually going to use, they said that the script had already been written, it was already finalized, it was already good to go, and they were going to use this script, but they weren't going to use him when they fired him. So, we covered this in the other episode. Please go listen to the other one. I think we're fairly comprehensive in our views on it and kind of what happened before. But now, I think there's a few things that happened. Now, you're familiar with DC Comics, right?
Yep.
So DC Comics, they make their own films too. They have, Superman, and Batman, and Wonder Woman, and a smash with Aquaman that just came out.
Right.
And they didn't care about the things that were said about James Gunn, and they waited until they were allowed. But then they went and hired him to make a DC superhero film. Now,
so obviously didn't bother them.
It's interesting because, and there was even a petition started to get James Gunn rehired. That I don't know, get 250,000 signatures or something crazy like that. So everybody wants to see James Gunn return. There's people that are against him, but they're it seems like a vocal minority. And I don't just mean in terms of people out there that go see the movies. I mean in terms of people that he works with. I just published a blog kind of talking about this in detail, but some of the things I covered was he did something wrong when he was young, and he got caught for it. And what he did was say something wrong. Many things. Lots of things.
Right.
And what he said...
when you're young and you're foolish, I mean, what's the age of cutoff?
Well, exactly. And he was young and foolish, and he actually, he was in an industry that at the time, if you remember the wrestling from those days, that he had those tweets, it was the Attitude Era at WWE, and it was, Nitro on the other side of the wrestling coin, and the shit they were pulling on TV would never happen on TV today. It was so controversial.
The smack talk and stuff?
Oh, yeah, it was so controversial. And it was, I'm going to be honest, it wasn't any different than the things that James Gunn said.
Right.
So in a way, he was kind of mirroring what was happening at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that doesn't, give him carte blanche or anything. Like, what he said was wrong. But all that being said, he did apologize. But it's like he did his time.
Right.
And to be honest, a lot of people just don't care. It's like, okay, well, he made a mistake, and he actually, we have a heartfelt apology multiple times, over and over and over again.
Right.
So the only one that looks bad right now are the people that called him out in Disney. Now, Disney was put in a very difficult situation because in today's society, firing him was the right move to make in today's society.
Right.
But
we have to do,
But the backlash against Disney for firing him backfired, and Disney came out looking like the villain.
Right.
And it's because, for all intents and purposes, James Gunn is a great guy. He had a big mouth in the day, and he's learned from it, and he's trying to be a better person. So shouldn't we forgive people that say something bad? I mean, he didn't do something bad. I mean, if he, if he was raping a bunch of people, or raping one person even, or if he was, curb stomping people, or he didn't do anything, he just had a big mouth, which is, bad, but we all, we're all bad, we all say bad things. We've all said bad things.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you can't, no one's a saint. I mean, even the saints that think they're saints and preach to other people, they're not saints either. No matter what they tell you. But,
so I'm going to say something very controversial here.
Okay.
But even Jesus said some bad things. Mind you, that stuff was cut out of the Bible.
It was cut out of the Bible. Because I was there, and so was the person.
The Bible was a bridge to take out the things that they thought they didn't want reflected in, the man of Nazareth. So, you could, some people will say, no, nothing was ever taken out of the Bible. Well, yes, stuff was taken out. And Jesus had his, he wasn't perfect either. He still made mistakes.
Right.
But the whole point of those Guardians movies, I don't know if you've watched them. Have you?
You know what? Honestly, I haven't. I think I watched the first one that came out, but then I don't recall much of it. I should watch it again, actually.
They're great. And they're on Netflix right now, so...
Oh, both of them?
The first two, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
And
okay.
I have them if you don't. Whatever.
Right.
They're fun. They're a lot of fun.
Right.
But the whole story of the Guardians is they're a bunch of jerks. They're a bunch of jerks that, find redemption. They become better people. They work off of their horrible pasts and pasts. And they learn to be better people. And that's the whole story. It's about redemption. It's about, learning from the mistakes you made and being a better person. That's totally what the movies are about. So to pull a guy off of a movie that has that theme, which is about redemption and being a better person, and take someone who actually followed that path and pull them off for becoming a better person, it's kind of not ironic. What's the word for that? Hypocritical. I don't know.
I don't know what that word would be.
But it's not right. It's like, but Disney, the same thing too. Like, they had a very checkered past.
Mm-hmm.
The rumors of Walt being a Nazi and being racist and a bigot and all those sorts of things. Hey, those are things that have never been properly addressed. But Disney has.
I didn't even know that.
What's that?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
well, I mean, whether it's true or not.
Right.
I mean, in this day and age, it doesn't matter if it's true. You still have to address when those things come up, and they never have.
Right.
But Disney as a company has moved on from that and tried to be a better company. All you can do is be a better you. That's all you can do. You can't be wise out of the game.
Yeah, if you're married and you said something 10 years ago and then all of a sudden it gets you in trouble now, it's like, what? That's like the dog crapping a month ago and then rubbed his nose in it a month later. It's like, why didn't you say something back then if you thought there was an issue?
You're not even that same person from 10 years ago. You're having an argument with someone who doesn't exist anymore, right?
Well, and the culture was different back then. I mean, everything was different back then. I mean, not to say that, anything that gets is good, but I'm just saying,
yo mama jokes. Yo mama jokes. Like, I mean, if that's the case, anyone that was alive in the 90s or the 80s or even the 70s, we all should go to jail. We should be removed from our jobs and disgraced, disgraced and blackballed from doing anything. So we'll lose that entire workforce, and only the 20-somethings will have jobs. Really? Yep. Yes. Yep. Okay, let's get into more let's get into yeah. No, let's get into more controversial territory, because here's the other side of all that came up last week as well. So Johnny Depp was married to Amber Heard, right? She recently got a role in Aquaman, which made, like I mentioned before, $1 gazillion. And she was married to Johnny Depp, and then accused Johnny Depp of multiple allegations of abuse and all that sort of stuff. And he got pulled from Pirates of the Caribbean as a result. As you can expect, I mean, hey, if this is who this guy is, and there's, pending charges against him or anything like that, that's the society we live in. That's what happened. He lost his work, just like Chris Hardwick did for the same, for the same reason. But here's where it's different than the Chris Hardwick story, where he exonerated himself. He did lose some of his work as a result of it that he'll never be able to get back, but he's working again. Because he had, I'm not going to go into it. You guys can listen to the episodes, what happened there, but Johnny Depp just came forward with evidence that discredits everything she said, and proof that she was the abuser in the relationship, and he's got documented his ex-wife, yes. So he has, this is what I'm hearing, maybe he's full of shit, but he has sent hours of video documenting her abuse of him, eyewitness accounts, testimonies, the whole gamut. And this is the only allegation of abuse that's come against him, is from his ex-wife. His previous wife, 14 years before that, came forward to his defense to say that that's impossible, that this could have happened. And multiple witnesses have come forward, so he's taken the time to gather all the evidence and put a case together, and he's presented it forward, and he's suing her for $50 million for I don't know if I'm getting the legal terminology wrong here, for defamation or whatever, but for basically smearing his name and costing him work. And during this whole thing, he was also cast in the Harry Potter movie, Fantastic Beasts. He was cast in that. There was pressure on J.K. Rowling in the studio to fire him because of the allegations, which J.K. Rowling decided to have a chat with Johnny Depp and ask him about the allegations, and decided that, no, I'm not firing him. These are allegations, and, until they're proven true, I haven't seen any evidence to prove that they're true. So she kept them on, and she came under fire for that. So anyway, so now what's happened? Now this has never happened before. So I have always had an issue with if the allegations are false, what happens? Because there's been no repercussion for that. So he is suing her, and the rumor is, and I don't know if this is true or not, but Aquaman 2 is going to start filming, soonish. Because I mean it was a big hit, so big film. They want to, have a follow-up. And since she was the co-star in it, she had she was second credit or third credit in the film. She is not going to be returning for the movie because of these allegations against her. Now, I've never seen it go the other way. This is very interesting. Now, again, I don't know who's right, who's wrong, who abused who did what. I'm not taking sides, but what I am saying is, if his allegations are true, and what he's saying she actually did, and it's proven, then she should be blackballed accordingly, just like it does work the other way. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because if you character assassinate someone, you should be held accountable. But that doesn't happen. You're allowed to character assassinate in this day and age, as long as you're the first one to make the allegation. People get away with it all the time. In the Chris Hardwick case, nothing. I mean, this didn't go through the courts or anything, but for all intents and purposes, the people that employed him previously that have rehired him have seen the evidence to be, there's enough evidence for them to rehire him back. So, but nothing happens to his ex that made these allegations. She character assassinated him, and nothing happens to her, which that came after Chris Hardwick, yes. And then No. It was his ex, and he exonerated himself with lots of proof, which is what Johnny Depp's doing now. But in this case, Johnny Depp, he has a reputation. Women love him, and his whole reputation is kind of based on that. He has a very loyal following. He's a good-looking dude. He's the fantasy guy that women go to. It's him or Denzel Washington or whatever. So if you attack his persona of being, a man that the ladies love, and that he's not, that he's a pig, and and an abuser and a violent guy. I mean, he's built his career on being this, not Lothario, but more of he's got a reputation of being, he treats the ladies very well. Is a good guy. He does lots of charity work, all this sort of stuff. So if you ruin someone's reputation when it's that specific, a reputation, I mean, that affects not only his income, but everything else, like his entire career. So in this case, he's going after the allegations, and he's suing. So, I mean, this is, to me, man, this is unprecedented. Yeah, because it never goes that way. You have to go find another job and prove yourself, and then resell yourself, because now you're branded a particular way. And yeah. So anyway, it's interesting. Can his career come back? But I think the support of J.K. Rowling is huge, because J.K. Rowling is probably the most influential person in the world for writing the Harry Potter books. Like she's the second richest person in the UK. Period. Only the Queen is richer than she is. So she has a lot of influence, and she's very smart as well. Like her Twitter is brilliant. People try to chop her down all the time and fail. They fail so bad. Like you cannot attack J.K. Rowling with a half-baked idea. She's way too smart for you. I would never. Yeah, it's the same thing. And she's so freaking intelligent and well-read. She's not an idiot. She knows her politics. I mean, I can't say. I mean, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but I look up to her. She's a powerful woman that earned her place. She 100% earned her place. Like 100%. Like, you know what? More power to her. And she seems to have her head screwed on straight. So, if she's endorsing you, I mean, that's the best endorsement. I think that is going to help his case. Yeah. So anyway, I really wanted to get I really wanted to get this episode out, while it's still a talking point. But so Marvel's going to wait for James Gunn to finish his DC movie, and then they're going to start the next Guardians. So they're actually waiting for him. So not only did they rehire him back, they didn't put anything in the contract that says, well, you can't do that movie now. It's sort of like, well, get that other movie done. You already agreed and you already signed to it. Go make a movie for DC, but please come back to us when you're done. Yeah. But I think him getting hired by DC really pushed his rehiring by Marvel. Because they lost a really talented director to the competition. Yep. And Disney really needed to save face, but they need a visionary like him, because Marvel is starting their next phase of movies, and it sounds like he was one of the architects for getting it done, because he's such a comic nerd. He knows his stuff. He knows what works and he knows what doesn't work. And Guardians should have failed. Under any director, that movie would have failed. It's not, on paper, it's a failure. It doesn't make sense that movie was popular, but he was able to intelligently write a story around what that was and make it work. A talking fucking raccoon? Like, come on, man. Like, that's the lamest thing. And he made it cool. And the talking tree, like, he's a good writer. He's a great writer. So go watch it on Netflix. I promise you, it's a quote unquote science fiction movie that's really just a comedy. So I mean, if you like Ghostbusters or Back to the Future or any of those, like, yes, they're science fiction movies, but they're not really. They're character pieces. You're gonna, yeah. Actually, I think I might watch it too. Then I'm gonna. Yeah, but it's great. And a good soundtrack, too. Great soundtrack. Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it was one of the first albums in a long time it was one of the first soundtracks in forever to go platinum. So albums don't go platinum anymore. It's not a very common occurrence. And this soundtrack did it, so. All right. Well, anyway, I'm home, dude. So I'll put this episode out early, and then I already have the other one in the can, so we'll have that one out for Monday next week, and this one out for before the end of the week. This will not be a Patreon exclusive. This will be free for everybody. All right. All right. We'll see you on the flip side, bro.